All right, so green, white, fair stuff. I had someone donate for me to run back what was previously called Angel Cord, which is a combo deck that's a fair creature deck based around Spike Feeder and Archangel Thune as a backdoor instant win condition, because these two cards gain you infinite health and put infinite counters on your creatures. The more I was looking at the deck last night as I was rebuilding and updating it with cards like Night of Autumn, Modern is just a really fast and brutal format, right? Like, we talk pretty constantly about how brutal efficiency is king in this format, and just like having this many 3s and 4s and then playing Court of Calling on top of it is not really something you want to be doing. So instead of leveraging Court of Calling, I've put a bunch of Eldritch Evolutions in here and kind of cut those for creatures that can beat down. So we've got this Wilt-Leaf Liege plus green-white creatures that will be massive with Wilt-Leaf Liege. Backup plan, we have the Spike Feeder Archangel backdoor combo. We got a couple of utility creatures like Shalai and Night of Autumn and Gaddock Teeg with our Eldritch Evolution and some other tools in the sideboard for various places. So we'll see how this goes. I spy a 2-color mana base that dies to Blood Moon. Probably. I don't know. With Mana Dorks, we're probably okay. How was Owling Mine? We won 2 more matches than I was expecting to win. So that's a good line. That's a basic mountain. Okay, so not like actual factual burn, but like probably a matchup that's okay for us, right? Weasel, thank you for the 5 months and the tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. I'm back. Am I supposed to path this? Yeah, probably not. Just need to know, do you enjoy Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving is fun. We don't really do anything too fancy with my family. So I think I'm actually going to be doing an all-day stream for Thanksgiving on Thursday. It's possible I should have pathed the Legion Loyalist, because Bolt plus Legion Loyalist lets them eat my 4 toughness creature here. We could see a Goblin Grenade take down Shalai here as well. Sure. So I'm taking 8 here. Down to 9. Gavony Township's a good draw, because it means I don't have to take, what's it called? Damage from this fetch land. Yeah, Wilt-Leaf Liege just makes all of our other creatures much larger. Sure. think I just want to leave the Noble Hierarch from dying. I think I want to go ahead and path this. So I'm going to take 4 down to 5 here, but like going to 5 really isn't a big deal because I've got Wilt-Leaf Liege giving me hexproof. So like I'm not going to die to a Goblin Grenade next turn, which is nice. Sorry, I've got Shalai giving me hexproof, I mean. So I think, how many creatures have there been? A bunch. So Scavenging Ooze is a great draw. Ooze is hungry, chat. He's a hungry boy. Hungry boy. Hey, Volrethrun, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here with that. Like, the rest of these have hexproof, so I'm going to go ahead and get in with this, not only to pressure their health total, but also to steal their contested war zone. This is each opponent, right? Yeah, so this doesn't target, so that's something I need to remember even while Shalai is out. We scoos, you lose. Yep, basically. Nice. Alright, so this is a Thragtusk matchup. This is a Celestial Purge matchup. It's probably not a Tireless Tracker matchup. Pretty clean in and out there. I don't think I want these other things. I don't think Damping Sphere is good enough in here. I guess Gaddock Teeg's like just a Grizzly Bear, but like, I think Grizzly Bear is better than the rest of these things. I guess Eidolon is okay. Probably better than the second Teeg. Let's do that. This hand just doesn't do anything, right? Like path into Grizzly Bear is not good enough. I think this is fine. Yeah, Eidolon being a 1/4 is like also pretty relevant. Like their deck just has like a bunch of X1s in it. So like having a 1/4 is like pretty reasonable. So I'm gonna get to go Voice of Resurgence into evolve my voice for a Wilt-Leaf Liege into play another Wilt-Leaf Liege. If they have a Bushwhacker next turn, I'm probably dead, but that's just like how these games go. Need to take the third game on the play if they have that. If they don't have that, this Voice of Resurgence should be pretty good here. Worth noting that Legion Loyalist will make my Voice of Resurgence token unable to block. This card has a lot of text on it in that battalion trigger. That is a part that people often forget. I'm gonna concede to a Bushwhacker this turn. We're probably just dead regardless here, because these Beaumont Couriers have so many cards under them. If I don't draw a creature to put into play this turn, we'll concede. Alright. Onward, upward, backward, forward. I do appreciate that this mono red player is playing very quickly, though. That's really nice of them. They're actually a couple seconds up on clock from where I am, even. God bless you. I dropped the black because I just kept looking at the mana and feeling like the black cards weren't going to do enough for the deck. Maybe that's an incorrect assessment, but I just really wanted to try it without the black, just like have a better beatdown plan. I think even with the black, you're a pretty big dog to the combo decks, so I'd rather just like lean into my permanent base disruption more than anything else. Mishra's Bauble. That's a little deep. Whoa. That's a thing. Okay. Eidolon's a pretty good draw. I assume this is going to die to a bolt, but I'd rather this die to a bolt than Noble die to a bolt. Land is a fantastic draw. This is my 4/4. Block. Oh, no attacks. No attacks. Come back, opponent. Come back. This is my 4/3 that gained a bunch of health. How are you doing? I guess if they whacked there, I could have been in trouble. When Knight of Autumn says choose 2, right? We haven't even drawn Kitchen Finks yet, which is like arguably the best card in the matchup. That's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. All right. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning. Hope everyone out there is having a good Wednesday wherever in the world. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. We play a ton of constructed Magic. We play Modern here at Magic Online. We also play Standard on Arena. If you find yourself enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their very wonderful support. Past subscribing, you can also support my content by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors, mtgotraders.com. Love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal and check out them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there with them. Possibility Storm would like to help you hone your Magic skills. Are you someone that thinks you'll always find the best line? Put your skills to the test. They have over 80 puzzles at possibilitystorm.com, and they add new ones of varying difficulty every single week. CoolStuffInc.com buy and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, you probably heard my shuffling deck going here. My shuffling deck is protected by nothing other than my wonderful BCW Elite Guard sleeves. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% on all of your orders there. They do deck boxes, sleeves, and all sorts of other great Magic accessories to keep your very valuable Magic the Gathering card safe. Someone said, what is your opinion on the Cardboard Live widget for Twitch? I have no idea what that does. I've seen people with that on their Twitch streams, and so far it just looks like an ugly version of Stream Decker. So I don't know if they have like grand plans to be more than an ugly version of Stream Decker at some point. Did I say Jeff Hoagland? Yeah, whatever the banner said's correct. Mixing my shills up. This hand... This is exactly what we're hoping to play against. This hand is pretty good against turn 1 Hissing Quagmire. Do you have any recommendations on TV shows? If you're someone who liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the 90s and early 2000s, I really like the new Sabrina on Netflix. All right, so am I turning this voice into something yet? I don't think so. I'm gonna attack for 2 here and just play Kitchen Finks. It's a matchup where Knight of Autumn leaves a little bit to be desired. Not quite fantastical. Yeah, Legend of Tomorrow is good. I like that whole universe on the CW or whatever it is they're called these days. Alright, so let's go ahead and attack here with both of these. Play Scavenging Ooze of my own. Make their Tarmogoyf a touch worse. To start activating Gavony Township next turn, which is sweet. I believe it's 1 code per purchase, Aurelia. Usually discount codes don't stack. They don't have a fatal push here. We should be in a pretty okay spot, especially with this Gavony Township. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat both of these. I don't have an Eternal Witness or anything like that, so like getting rid of the Eldritch Evolution on my graveyard is just like all upside in terms of shrinking the Starmagwave. Pretty sure I just smashed. They're at 13 already. I know they aren't a sponsor anymore, but Honey just saved me $6. That's great. I think I just let this happen and then like play Noble plus Knight of Autumn here. November 15th is when it's advertised that they'll be able to have Challenge a Friend to enable it on Arena. So these'll... Oh, you know what? That was a mistake. I punted. I have an extra mana left over here. I should have eaten the land out of their graveyard. Could have made their Tarmogoyf one smaller here. Small mistake on my part. I'm just going to make this a 4-3 because killing one of these probably doesn't matter because they spend their next turn cracking clues. I'm probably going to run them out of the game. What happened with the Honey sponsor? Their contract just ran out. A lot of the sponsors are, not all sponsors are long-term sponsors. It's been a good 2 years of memes. What's going on, Shannon? Thank you for the 24 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yes, this Tarmogoyf should be one smaller. I should have activated the Scavenging Ooze to shrink, grab this land out of their bin. Out of curiosity, how often do you reach out for sponsors? Not super often. It depends. If there's like a product that like I'm really interested in advertising because I think it's good and I could sell it, sometimes I'll reach out to people. But I work with an advertising network too. That helps me find a lot of the stuff that I have. There's an advertising network that works explicitly with people on Twitch. So the Scavenging Ooze is going to be a 4-4 next turn. All right, so what do I want to do with that? That's probably a turn voice into Wilt-Leaf Liege, right? I think. So, like, I don't want to evolve Kitchen Finks because I'll just eat it with Scavenging Ooze. I think it's turned this into Wilt-Leaf Liege, which then lets me attack with Kitchen Finks as a 6/5, which is almost lethal. Also leaves the Giant Elemental in play. No, 6/5 with Exalted. No, I started super early. I started about 8 o'clock. That's unfortunate. I guess it's not that unfortunate, because it means I can activate Gavony Township now, so, like, my Finks isn't actually that much smaller here. So down to 2. Which means I have 3 lethal attackers next turn. I guess that's not true because they have a Scavenging Ooze to gain health with. What's our Harry's number? That's a good question. I think it was 77 last I checked. 81. 81, getting close. I might have to put my put my razor where my mouth is and shave my face here soon. So let's do this, which makes my elemental bigger. It also means if they have a removal spell, they need to use it now. And now both of these are lethal, so they need to block both of my creatures here. Because even if they double Scooze, they go to 4 and then these kill them. So, like, these blocks mean that I eat both their creatures and, like, have both my creatures left over. Alright, these blocks make more sense. In fact, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pass priority and let Scavenging Ooze trade with my Kitchen Finks, because I want the Kitchen Finks to come back into play, so then I Gavony Township. Oh, I guess if I don't Gavony Township in advance, I lose my Elemental, because this is going to go away, turning this into a 3/3 with 3 damage on it. So I do need to Township pre-damage. So, their Scooze is going to die, their Goyf is going to die, they're going to be at 4, I'm going to have this and this. Okay, so yeah, we're in a pretty good spot here. They have some draws in the bank and they have this Liliana, but we're pretty far ahead on board. Yeah, put hats on everything. Oh, mono hats, chat, mono hats. And this is, when I posted about this deck, I was like, I really hope we get to play against a bunch of fair decks. And so far we're basically, decks like this, you have to ask yourself a simple question. And that question is, does Voice of Resurgence have a text box? If the answer to that question is yes, the matchup is probably okay for us. If the answer to that question is no, we're probably going to have a bad time. I think this is good. Trim a couple of birds. These don't have a huge impact on the game. Gaddock Teeg doesn't do much. I think it's okay to keep all the evolutions. I definitely want all the Tireless Trackers. Definitely want my top end. Yeah, let's do it. I don't actually know the answer to that question, Pike. I don't enjoy playing limited personally, so I just buy packs. If you're someone who enjoys playing limited, it's probably worth it to play limited because the potential to earn more is there. But if you're not like, I'm really excited to draft or I'm really excited to sealed, you should probably just buy packs because remember, your games are supposed to be fun. So if you're not having fun playing limited, you should skip it. Linvala to win the Scooze Mirror. That's an interesting point. Yeah, Linvala might be better than the 4th Eldritch Evolution. Eldritch Evolution's a type of card that can get stranded in our hand on occasion if they kill all of our threats. I could see it being fine to play 23 lands. I don't know. You probably lose more games to Screw than Flood, so maybe. I just have like 6 dorks in the main, so it's like more than 28 mana sources in medium. So, if you're ever wondering about my schedule, you can find my schedule here on my website. Wednesday mornings is all Modern on Magic Online. Wednesday evenings is all Standard on Magic Arena. So, I'm going to be streaming for another 5.5 hours or so. And then I'm going to take a break for a little while I hang out with Jake after he gets home from school. And then after the kids go to bed, I fire back up tonight. Do some Standard on Arena. But my schedule generally has what I'm planning to play and when I'm there. Occasionally, I add extra streams that aren't on there, but I have a lot of regular ones that you can always know what formats they're going to be usually. If they have Liliana in the Veil here, we're going to be really sad, but I'm definitely just, like, not playing my 2-drop on Jew. It's going to be interesting to see if Pauper can support competitive leagues. Because, like, if you look at the Friendly Pauper League, there's only 500 people in the Friendly Pauper League. So, like, does that player base have enough people to like split it up? Or are they going to run into the issue of their player base just being too segmented and waiting too long to play matches? Will Mardu Super Friends make the cut for standard today? I do not know offhand what the queue looks like. I usually play 3 to 4 decks on Wednesday nights. So if it's in the top 3, it'll probably get played. If it's 4th, it's a maybe. If it's past 4, probably not. Is this a donation deck? Yeah, pretty much everything we play on the stream is a donation deck. Does MTG ever queue against the same person, same league? Yep, all the time. Constantly. It's very annoying. I'm not liking standards play, dude, swing with, dude, meta. I mean, there are a ton of playable control decks in the format. Jeskai Control had a decent weekend at the Pro Tour. There's green-black decks that are more controlling. It's like what your comment there feels like when somebody says to me, Modern's all linear decks and I can't play anything interactive. It's like, well, what are you playing? You playing like Burn and Infect? Well, of course it's all linear decks. All you're playing a linear deck. So like, if you want to play games that aren't linear, play decks that aren't linear. If you want to play decks that aren't just about attacking with creatures, play decks that aren't about attacking with creatures. You get a lot of choices. Man, look at this sick card advantage. Jay Boons, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. There's literally like every major archetype represented in the current best decks in standard. There's like 2 aggro decks, there's a mid-range deck, there's a control deck, and then like the Drake's deck is like a combo slide deck in my opinion. Good mix between the two. I really wish our opponent had Dark Confidant too. Curse them. They do not have Revolt here, so this double block means I get to kill this Tarmogoyf. So they're like trading Tarmogoyf for the front half of a Kitchen Finks. It seems incredibly bad for them. Oh, do they have Revolt? How do they have Revolt? What did I miss? Oh, they cracked a clue. Ah, I'm a big dumb. Gosh, I'm a big dumb. Okay, yep, I deserve that. Put this into play. Play this land past the turn. Yeah, that's true. There's 2 different taking turns decks in the standard format. The Jund Dinos deck we played yesterday was like a mid-range monsters deck. If they don't draw a removal spell for Archangel of Thune here, they're going to be up very far up a creek without a pedal. In terms of card, definitely Spellsetter Sprite. In terms of art, I really love, that's unfortunate. It's a good draw. Oh, Shalai. You are a touch late. Thankfully, I'm at 24 here, so like, I've got plenty of time to do stuff and things. Do I play Wilt-Leaf? Nah, I'm gonna play Shalai. Let's do this. Attack for 2. And like take a lick next turn 2 and then activate Shalai. Yeah, I probably punted this by the double block with the Finks, forgetting about the Revolt from the clue. That's true. That's true. If they like Thoughtseize me or Liliana, like the Wilt-Leaf Liege is like excellent in my hand. They can't Lily Edict me here because Shalai gives me hexproof. Missed T, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, they can't Thoughtseize me. Also correct. Man, this card does everything. Hey, Phaser, thank you for the 2 months as well. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Sure. Oh my god, I just clicked through that. It's so annoying that those interfaces are different. And I think the cards are templated different. They have removal spells for dead anyways? No. I messed up. I'm used to like Path to Exile and Ghost Court and everything like that. I like instinctually went to like click yes, I want to search. And it was a no, I'm done searching button on the interface. So muscle memory got me there. That's fine. We're probably buried enough that it doesn't matter. I'm gonna land this time, unlike not be an idiot. They have 5 cards in their hand. What tribe is my favorite? I don't know, probably fairies. So this is a free bump. This is a chump block. I'm gonna like draw Voice of Resurgence and like instantly get punished for like my misclick. Gavony Township, sure. Can you tell me why I cut black from this deck? Can you tell me why I need black? What problem is black solving that I have? Why do I need black cards in my deck? Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it in. Go to the next one. Our misclick ended up not mattering there. Tracker is so good. Just unchecked Tracker, ran away with the game. It's very possible that my double block with the Kitchen Finks getting blown out by the Fatal Push cost me that one. Seeing it's pretty good. Also went to 6. We get to go 2, 3, 4. We'll be in a great spot. Yay! Discard spells! Yay! Modern! I think aggro is well positioned at the moment. I think modern has nothing to do with positioning. Just play decks that are proactive and powerful. Joke's on you, opponent. Nice Thoughtseize bug. Go. I'm not going to path this Goyf. I think I need to save the path for a Tireless Tracker. Yep. No block here, obviously. Last hope kills the token. Are the swords unplayable in modern? Yeah, they are. They're just they don't generate enough impact. The format, a big part of what makes cards like Dark Confidant and Swords much worse in modern than they are in Legacy is the fact that there's so much removal in this format that like those value-based things more often than not tend to just like not get to function. I'd ask that we please only use English in the chat. I'm going to start timing out people talking in other languages. Please and thank you. One of my goals is to have a well-moderated chat, and if I can't understand your message, I can't moderate it. Would it be playable when they unban Stoneforge Mystic? Well, they're not going to unban Stoneforge Mystic, and they probably still wouldn't even be very good with that card. Like, the type of magic that Stoneforge Mystic encourages you to play, just generally speaking, isn't very good in Modern. So this fair, grindy, interactive magic, just, like, not particularly good in this format. This is a format that's about brutal efficiency and tempo. Oh. Oh. Do you think... Do you think this Wilt-Leaf Liege is good against the rack? How about this one? You think that one's good against the wreck? Welcome to Thunderdome, opponent. Enjoy your stay. I can have an Stirring Bridge here. Sure. Yeah, I think Liliana Veil's a good cut in this matchup, Bred. It's not only is it bad against Wilt-Leaf Liege being in my hand, but it's also like really bad against like both Voice of Resurgence and Kitchen Finks. I think you could maybe construct some argument to leaving it on the play if you have a strong curve, but in general, if you have other better cards to bring in, I would rather cut them. So I have 3 Evolutions and 2 Knight of Autumns to kill this Ensnaring Bridge. A lot of the discard spells let them target themselves, so we could see discard spells targeting themselves. Yep. It's a pretty good one, chat. It's a pretty good one. I have no idea, Python. Like, everything affects your credit. Man, decks that mess up 8-rack just, like, make me happy on a primal level. Just take your mono misery and get out of my match of magic. Goodbye. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Like, basically a haste threat. Sure. Let's do it. Nah, I don't think Kataki's good enough. They should generally have plenty of extra mana. I guess it makes their life kind of annoying with Bridge. Oh, my opponent put me on the play. Sure. You love Eldritch Evolution because you're a Magic player, and Magic players like to do sweet things in their card games. My 4-month-old recognizes your face and voice enough that it calms her. That's fantastic. Thank you for the 3 months, Tiger. Welcome back. I appreciate it. How dead is the Snowball? Very dead is the answer. Seems pretty reasonable. Doesn't have a bridge. It like beats down relatively quickly. Wrenchmind, probably been just Ravenscram. Goodbye. Goodbye, 5-drop. Watch our artifact? Yeah, I have an artifact beta key from PAX, and I'll be streaming a bunch of artifact next week when we're able to do that. So I think I'm gonna do doubles on Monday and Tuesday, do evening artifact streams Monday, Tuesday, and then do Thursday. I'm planning to stream all day, probably do like 7-8 hours of Magic Arena, and then do a couple hours of artifact in the evening afterwards. You got me. From my understanding, it sounds like it's going to be as big of a ripoff as Magic Online. It sounds like Artifact has effectively carbon copied the Magic Online model. No, my morning streams are still going to be Magic. I'm not going to be replacing my Magic content with artifact content. The artifact content that I'm going to be adding will be supplementing my Magic content. It'll be in addition to, not instead of. Magic content is what people pay to see here. And I do enjoy playing Magic. Arena is great. All right, they don't have a bridge here. They die very quickly. When's the next Hookah Watch stream? I'm not sure. Christy and I haven't been able to, haven't been playing quite as much. Just a lot going on. Do you have a preference between Arena and MTGO's payment model? I prefer Arena by a lot. The whole finance aspect of TCGs I think is really tedious and annoying. We have a new hero. Okay, sweet. Yeah, they spoiled two, right? Like there's one that's coming out now and there's one that's coming out a little bit from now. This block here means that they don't have the mana to cast it in Stirring Bridge. That's good for us. Fear my fair and honest green and white creatures opponents. All right, 2 more fair matches. We'll go 1-1. We'll 3-2 the league. We'll be on our way. They said they had 6 they were playtesting in-house. That's a lot. I think I'm just supposed to mulligan this. And, it's like arguably better. It's like kind of a 6-lander. I have Stony Silences and Damping Spheres and like Prayer against Tron. Which you prefer in Modern and Play as? Fair matches or linear? I prefer playing fair Magic. I play Magic as an intellectual exercise to like have back and forth and like make lots of choices. And the linear decks tend to give you less choices because the games are fast and brutal. What's going on, extras? All right, I mean, like, this is about as aggressive as we can be on the play, right? Like, I hate to like play turn 3 Wilt-Leaf Liege and like attack for 7. They're gonna cast a Wormcoil or a Karn, I'm gonna die, but like we gave it the college best. Okie doke. I mean, we beat just a card. The problem is we don't beat their second play. All right, Path to Exile are dead. What does that do for me? It do anything for me? It doesn't really, right? It does get Teeg. Yeah, I guess getting Teeg is pretty good. My body is ready to be Oblivion Stoned. And look at how swole Teeg is, chat. He's been hitting the gym, working out. You look good, Teeg. Yes, yes. The opponent, for people that are newer to Magic, the deck that our opponent is currently playing is a deck that's referred to as Tron. It is the deck that is responsible for, I'm gonna make, like, and everybody knows that 90% of statistics are made up on the spot. Tron is responsible for 97% of the miserable matches that occur in Modern. 97%. This is the internet, so I don't have to back that up with any actual facts or data. You're just gonna have to take it at face value. The other 3% is Storm. No, the other 3% is Simian Spirit Guide. What's so bad about it? So, lands are an incredibly difficult axis to interact with in Magic, including Modern. Wizards of the Coast realized very quickly into their design space that land destruction creates for non-games of Magic. It takes the resource variance that Magic has built into it and takes it to an extreme. So because of that, these powerful land-based strategies basically just get to run rampant against these decks that can't kill them by turn 3. In the absolute sense, what Tron does is not more obnoxious. When you just look at Tron goldfishing, what Tron does while goldfishing is not more offensive than a lot of the other things that are good in Modern. The issue is that unlike most of the other decks in Modern, the number of axes which you have to interact with Tron, especially in the realm of main deckable cards, is very, very small. So that's why people find Tron obnoxious. The people that can't race Tron, unlike basically every other deck in Modern, there aren't good cards that you can play most of the time that are going to give you a chance to actually have a competitive game of Magic. And again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that lands are an incredibly difficult axis to interact with in Magic and Modern. How does Assassin's... So the problem with Assassin's Trophy is that Tron just casts their spells eventually. So Assassin's Trophy isn't even that good against Tron. It's like good if you can kill them by turn 4 or turn 5, but you still have to be an incredibly aggressive deck to be able to leverage what Assassin's Trophy is letting you do. Stony Silence is a card that's either a 2 or a 10 in this matchup. So far, it's looking like this could potentially be one of the 10 games for Stony. So, Stony locks them off of their Oblivion Stones. Gaddock Teeg locks them off of their Karns and their Ugins. So, we could have a real chance here. I'll play Noble Hierarch plus my favorite Grizzly Bear. The name Tron is a throwback to Voltron, the old cartoon from whenever ago. He makes Goose sad. See, when you beat Tron, it's not particularly interesting. When you lose to Tron, not particularly interesting. Just regardless of which direction the game is going, there just isn't that back and forth that I really love for Magic the Gathering. And so again, like, I think that game that we just won was also not a very good game of Magic. So like, it's not even about just winning or just losing. It's about, even when I play decks that have good Tron matchups, the matches of Magic you play against Tron that you're mostly winning don't quantify what I would consider a good game of Magic. There's not a back and forth where both players are interacting. And again, my statement there about the types of magic that I feel Tron generates, that doesn't mean you shouldn't play Tron. Tron's an incredibly powerful deck that's very good in Modern. And if you want to win matches of Magic, and if you enjoy playing Tron, you shouldn't feel bad about playing it. My commentary on Tron as a deck and what it does to Modern, what I'm looking to get out of the Modern, isn't a commentary on you as a person. A lot of people tend to take comments like I've just made here very personally, because when you spend $500, $1,000, $2,000 on a deck of Magic cards, usually you're very caught up and invested in what that deck is doing. There's a lot of people who take when I'm critical in my analysis of what these decks are doing as personal attacks, and that's not what it's intended to mean. Do you consider Grixis Death Shadow a fair deck that plays Magic? Kinda. Like, that deck plays Temur Battle Rage for a reason. Like, it's looking to get people. You've got Stoneforge as a spoiler for UMA. Yeah, exactly. What am I supposed to do here? I think I'm just supposed to play the Knight. I think I'm gonna play the Knight as a Naturalize and kill this Oblivion Stone and like go get Angel next turn, because basically I'm taking the Oblivion Stone off the table because if they have Nature's Claim, I don't want them to like Nature's Claim my Stony Silence and then like make their Oblivion Stone active. Just casual natural Trons, always, never not. Just a Wormcoil. That's good for us. We have past Exile. We only have one card left here. That's actually quite fantastic for us. So I get to go ahead and do this. Grab Archangel of Thune. Yeah, Wormcoil. Wormcoil is incredibly beatable here. I could be like super conservative and like go get a Gaddock Teeg here, but I think that's playing to not lose. I think I want to try and set up my combo, because I think getting in 1 extra or 2 extra points of damage is not worth giving them an extra land next turn. No, I don't time people out because we don't like their usernames. I time people out for a lot of reasons, but that's not one of them. So a Mana Dork is lethal here. It's Wilt-Leaf Liege. All right, so I actually get to kill them next turn. If they don't draw a way to interact with my board, if they just like have like another threat that doesn't exile stuff, or they have nothing, maybe I should have left the Wormcoil there and just taken the 6 that turn, because now if they go basic forest, they can cast Ulamog. The combo in this deck is actually incredibly straightforward. So Archangel of Thune plus Spike Feeder gains you an arbitrarily large amount of life and gives all of your creatures other than Spike Feeder and an arbitrarily large number of 1/1 counters. Thanks for getting me back on Elves. I'm having fun after a few bad months with the game. Elves is refreshing. I really like that deck. That's a great clip, Omelette. So again, Spike Feeder gains you health by removing a 1/1 counter. So Spike Feeder with Archangel of Thune lets you gain 2 health an arbitrarily large number of times, and every time you gain health, Archangel puts a 1/1 counter on every one of your creatures. So my Archangel of Thune, in addition to us gaining an arbitrarily large number of health, this was going to get arbitrarily large. I mean, like, was that a good game of Magic? Like, it was literally just me sitting there with my butt cheeks clenched together going, please don't card me, please don't Ugin me, please don't card me, please don't Ugin me, and then they didn't card or Ugin me and they died. Level 40, that's a lot of levels. That's a lot of levels. All right, we're 3-1. Slow and steady. Tracker's just much too slow on pirates. You also want all the pirates the deck is playing to have evasion of some sort or generate card advantage, which that one doesn't do. You could like maybe argue that it sometimes draws you a card, but like it takes so much mana to get card advantage with it. So, someone asked, how can you add a deck to the queue without spending money? Okay, that's a deal. Deal resolved. You can watch ads on Twitch for bits, and 1,000 bits gets the deck added to the queue. So what would you replace Voice with in this deck? I wouldn't replace Voice in this deck. Voice is very reasonable in this deck. This isn't a deck that I would classify as being good in Modern, but it is a deck that you can definitely win games of Magic with if you work hard. I agree that seems like a medium fatal push. All right, Bob, show me Bloodbraid Elf. Lightning Bolt, sure. Yeah, Eva, I shouldn't have dug in as much as I did, regardless of what I believe. There's a reason why I stopped playing competitive Magic, and people like that are a big part of it, and I should just focus on playing the game for fun here on stream. Do they not have a land? All right, so they're dead. We path this, we untap, play a creature, kill them with voice tokens. I'll make it an old dude in a wheelchair. Pokemon Go is a lot of fun. Basically think about Pokemon Go as like, it's like walking with a purpose. Like if you're gonna go and like walk around outside anyways, it's like that. It's like gives you like goals, so like what places to walk to and stuff like that. Don't give them info on the kitchen. They know that there's Kitchen Finks in my deck. I'm not really gaining anything by concealing that. We are 3-1 currently. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, seems fine. We have locked in real modern deck status and we are up a game here against Jund. This deck is basically just a green-white beats deck that has Archangel Spike Feeder thrown in with a toolbox to gain access to some more hate creatures in matchups that are hard, or sometimes steal wins with Archangel. And like the Archangel combo did steal us a win against what's it called? Against Tron. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I'm excited about Artifacts Dubligar. I enjoy playing games competitively, and if Artifacts can allow me to please take the rest of my bits for being a badass, thank you, super. Artifacts can allow me to play a game competitively and not worry about the nonsense that goes into the people that think competitive Magic should be played in a specific way rather than by the rules. It'll let me focus on just being able to play. It's one of the reasons why I really liked Hex. Hex had smaller scale competitive stuff, but it was still competitive things that I could like play from home digitally and not worry about the nonsense that goes into competitive Magic. I will do, thank you. You've had enough real decks for the day, bumping egg. Also, getting closer to cranky old man in a wheelchair emote. Thanks, goalie. Fair warning, goalie. Sultai Mill is over 100. So, the egg will come after Sultai Mill. So we're going to play Sultai Mill next, then we'll play egg in the league after that one. Had a little bit of a backup. What non-TCG games do I enjoy / play competitively? I don't play any non-TCG games competitively. I enjoy playing Overwatch, but it's been a little bit since I've played. My wife and I play that together. And thank you for the absurd support. Excuse me, as always, goalie. Yeah, perfect. I am happy to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and just gain a hit point here. Make their next Scavenging Ooze worse. Perfect. It'll be on the docket for next Wednesday morning then. Likely up first thing. So this means next turn I can play Tracker plus play a fetch land and make some clues. And make me work for this? Rude. Alright, so I don't want to crack my fetch land right away because I don't have anything to do with the mana. So I'm going to pass the turn here because if my opponent has a lightning bolt, I don't want them to bolt my Tracker in response to me cracking the fetch land, thus potentially denying me a second clue. So I'd much rather they play a land out proactively or play a removal spell proactively and then I crack my land in response to generate a clue. I have seen the Detective Pikachu trailer and I am super psyched. As somebody who was born and grew up in the 90s, like live action Pokemon is something I've been waiting a long time for. I mean, I want competitive games played by the rules. There is a very negative stigma attached to calling a judge in Magic. If you've ever watched any competitive Magic tournament, watch what Twitch chat does when a judge call happens, and you will understand what I mean. I do not have a sideboard done yet, Zene. I wanted to play through the league and make sure I liked the cards that we were playing. I'll get one written up by Friday. Another fetch land is fantastic here. So I get to do this. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with this because, like, if they double block, I get to kill their guys. I'm not gonna crack any clues here. I'm gonna fetch a shock land tapped and cast Thragtusk here. Will it be on my website? No, I will just link it to you directly. This chump block is good for us. So if you're in the Discord, Zene, you should pop in there, and I will post it. I'll post it in there. I don't know. This deck's not currently listed on my website, so I don't know that I'm necessarily going to add it after one league. Usually, the modern decks that I put on my website, I look to have 2 to 3 leagues with them under my belt. This game looking pretty good for us here. Got a lot of threats in our hand. Yeah, Game Boys were the only video game systems I had growing up. My father was very against consoles. So this Bob is probably chump blocking again next turn. This Wilt-Leaf Liege will hopefully bury them when they plus this Liliana. That's another Tireless Tracker. Sign me up. We are no longer clueless, chat. Well, that Liliana can stay right where she is. So I assume we're gonna see a chump block here. I think I'm just supposed to play Kitchen Finks here and just, like, get the most bodies in play. Because, like, even if they have, like, Damnation next turn, like, I'm still in a pretty good spot. Playing Kitchen Finks is really bad against Anger of the Gods because I could have grown these Tireless Trackers out of Anger of the Gods range. So, hopefully Anger is not a thing that happens. The bits are restless. They are bouncing around. They are bouncing around in there. So, don't anger me. Damnation's like whatever. Damnation was going to get me regardless. He's dead, Jim. Yeah. Yeah, you plus that Liliana, big boy. Yeah. Yeah, just do Which one did you want me to get rid of? All right, so we're done here. You're dead. I'm gonna sacrifice this. I'm gonna kill you with these. I can even just sacrifice this and, like, keep it. Such a powerful $80 magic card, chat. Such a powerful $80 magic card. But, Jeff, you 4-1 with Voice of Resurgence. You can't say Voice of Resurgence is a modern unplayable magic card. Jeff, your deck is so good. Such fair green-white creatures, Jeff. Don't you love them? That's actually true. I really do love fair green-white creatures. I wish decks like this were a little bit better than they were in the format. That league's a great example of if you hit the right matchups, you can be successful with anything in Modern. So a couple people were asking, I'm going to include this in the wrap-up segment, why I cut the black from this archetype. I cut the black from this deck because I think the black is, like, recognizing or, like, not, or failing to recognize that you need to just give up some matches in Modern. I think the Assassin's Trophies and the Thoughtseizes that we've played in this deck previously were cards for matchups that are going to be hard regardless of whether or not you splash, and I'd rather just have a more consistent mana base in the main deck and just, like, be able to cast all my spells consistently rather than try and splash. I think I'm still going to have to get lucky even with Thoughtseize in the matchups where I want Thoughtseizes, and instead I can just like hedge those matchups with like Gaddock Teegs and Eidolons and Damping Spheres and stuff of that nature rather than playing those discard spells. I was pretty happy having cut the Court of Callings from this deck. This deck still has a little bit of clunk in it with its number of 3 and 4 mana spells, but if we added Court of Calling on top of these 3 and 4 mana spells that we're playing, I think it would have been even more clunky. I think I was pretty happy with everything we did there. I don't know that I'd change anything. It is unfortunate that this is a very white-based deck that can't afford to play Rest in Peace, but I just don't think you can. You just like, you can't. You have Voice of Resurgence and Kitchen Finks and like these other things that depend on the graveyard, so I just think like Rip is just not something that we have access to. This deck's probably very bad against Dredge, but I think without playing Rip to like hose your own game plan, you're just like not gonna win there, so I don't think I'd change anything. All right, what are we doing?